Welcome down the Badger Hole. I'm Drew.
I'm Chandler.
I don't know why we're doing so many things, but yeah, this this episode is gonna be a good one. We're discussing the Dead Internet Theory. Do you know anything about that, Chandler?
Nope.
Great. All gonna learn some stuff. But first, how was your week?
Boring.
Yep. Was it boring?
I think so. A little hectic.
It's been a couple weeks since we recorded. Yeah. This month, we're recording this on the 9th of August, 2024. Yeah, this month has been pretty abysmal. I would say lots of bullshit happening in the personal lives of both of us, and yeah. But hey, you might have a new job lined up.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it is actually exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit,
What
this is
was I
gonna
about
be a
to
good
say?
one,
I
folks.
was about to say something. It's a little later than we usually record. And again, it's been 2 or 3 weeks since we last recorded.
It's been a long time.
Also apologies on that. It's just been again
Insane.
a hectic time.
Yeah.
Our new studio, we had to pull everything out to paint for my unborn child.
I didn't paint, but
No.
that's why we look pink, is because there's now pink walls everywhere.
Very, very light purple. It's
There's
not
another
pink.
word for that. Pretty sure it's pink.
No, light purple is still light purple. It's like a super light lavender color. That wall is not. Also, look at that.
I know, yeah, that looks incredible.
Yeah.
Probably
Show them.
once it's done. Yeah.
It is done. What do you mean?
It's done? It's
Yeah.
done? Oh. Okay, well, maybe at this point we'll throw up a picture of the mural that they painted for their baby.
Yeah, or I'll just do this. And that's what it looks like. Drew is very unhappy because I moved our camera.
Yeah, which means it's not gonna look good when it comes back over here.
Yes, it will. But let me know what you guys think. I did almost none of it other than the main like colors. But the like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Artistic one is Liz, whereas
Yeah.
the autistic one is you.
Yeah. Yep. My wife did all of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything in the teal she did. But yeah, no, let me know what you guys think.
So this is where the camera is now.
It looks fine.
It looks
Fine.
different. So, okay.
Drew's cranky today.
Not in the best of moods, but I will survive. Okay, so the Dead Internet Theory is an online conspiracy theory suggesting that much of the internet is no longer driven by human activity, but by bots and automated content. Proponents believe that since around 2016 or 17, the internet has been dominated by non-human bots, or by non-human interactions, with bots generating a significant portion of online content. Do you have any idea what we're talking about now?
Kind of.
Before Liz, were you ever on any dating sites? Tinder, Plenty of Fish,
For like 3 weeks.
You running any bots?
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of bots with dating sites.
Okay.
And I'll just keep getting into it. In fact, most companies that own dating sites or apps pay employees to pose as potential love interests. There are a lot that also just have they're just AI. They're autonomous. They just let them scrub and interact with their user base. If you watch the Netflix documentary Sex, Lies, and Scandal, the Ashley Madison story, they're like, yeah, that's totally how it worked, because people have to buy, like, in order to respond to people, you have to buy points.
Okay.
So it's like a bot messages you, or an employee of the company messages you, and you're like, oh, that's a cute girl, even though it's not really that person. It's a catfish. Then you have to pay to respond to them. So the company's generating revenue that way. And it's the same with, like, I know Plenty of Fish has like the like super boost or whatever. Like there are always ways for these companies to make money off of you interacting with other people. even if they're not actually people. The theory posits that these bots are used to manipulate public perception and control information flow, potentially by government agencies or large corporations. No, large corporations definitely do it. Government agencies, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't put anything past the government, any government at all. While some aspects, like the increase in bot traffic, are observable, the broader claims of the theory are widely considered speculative and lack substantial evidence.
Okay.
So basically, proponents of the theory are like, yo, 90% of what is on the internet is bullshit generated by AI or bots or just put out to receive clicks, which in a time where TikTok is, the I think probably one of the biggest entertainer apps
Ever.
of a very long time, and like people of a demographic very different to me, very different than me, use it primarily. Um, I could totally see that being the case. I mean, the fucking the music, the like meditation music that mom puts on for the dogs when we leave the house, that kind of stuff. Like most of that is bot driven as well.
Yeah.
So it totally makes sense that there would be lots of it because that's the internet. So some examples would be like social media posts. Bots can generate and schedule posts on platforms like Twitter, now X, Facebook, and Instagram. And also TikTok. They can create content, respond to comments, and even engage with users to increase interaction. Yeah, we all know that happens.
Yeah.
News articles. Some news websites use bots to write articles, especially for financial reports, sports updates, and weather forecasts. These bots can quickly generate content based on data inputs. Makes sense to me. Product descriptions. E-commerce sites often use bots to create product descriptions. This helps in managing large inventories and ensuring that each product has a detailed description, or even reviews. I can't tell you how many times, like, because I shop a lot on Temu. I know that it's Chinese spyware, just like other apps, but whatever. I can get cheap shit. So, like a lot of the time you'll go into like read descriptions of stuff and it doesn't make sense, and I attribute that to, oh, it's being translated from Mandarin to English. But then sometimes like just like the flow of words is really choppy, especially on when it comes to like reviews of stuff.
Yeah.
It's just weird. Customer service responses, just like I just said. Many companies use chatbots to handle customer service inquiries. These bots can answer frequently asked questions, provide information, and even process orders. Who was I trying to deal with just the other day? Geico.
CenturyLink.
I was dealing with CenturyLink first, but yeah, Geico, because like even if you contact them through the app, you've got to go through several pages of bot responses for them to even connect you to a person. That way.
And if you press the wrong fucking dial, you restart.
Oh my God, the city.
Yeah.
Remember when we were trying to go dump, like we had some electronics that we needed to get rid of, and there's an electronic recycling plant here in town, and it took me 20 minutes to get a hold of a person, and I poked my phone so hard because I accidentally mistyped a button during one of the phone interactions, and it took me all the way back to the beginning that I bruised my finger.
He has angry issues.
Oh, I don't have angry issues. I just don't like things that annoy me.
Anger issues.
Content curation. Bots can aggregate and curate content from various sources, presenting it in a cohesive manner. This is common in newsletters and content recommendation engines. SEO options. Bots can generate content optimized for search engines, including blog posts and articles designed to rank for specific keywords. Yeah. So like, it's everywhere. But
well, and it literally every single where, like company websites, trying to get a hold of, like, the best thing that I can say is, especially on social media, people trying to get like sponsorships and shit. 9 times out of 10, you're just dealing with an automated message,
right,
a bot, or something of that sort. So like reaching out to, or even vice versa, if they're reaching out to you, it's not a legit person.
Right.
But
It's like it's in a an email that was the list was curated by bots and then sent out en masse by bots. Like there's so, at least in business, there's so much that has become automated.
A perfect example is I am a creator on TikTok, and that just means I have a certain amount of followers and I can sell things on TikTok.
I've never once used it.
But like, I will show you a perfect example of what I mean. I get probably hundreds of these a day.
Oh, are they? Yeah, we want to collaborate with you type messages, because I get those on Instagram.
Well, essentially.
Yeah.
So it's just messages saying, hey, we have a product. Would you mind just making a video with it? We will send it for free. And most of them are legit, but it's all bots.
And they all say the same thing.
And it's, you guys can't see it, but it is literally like,
yeah, he's got a
thousands,
a bunch of red dots.
And every single day, messages. It's just, like, let me read the top one. If it loads. Okay, my hand just doesn't work. So it says, we strive to create products with you in mind. Check out our newest drop to find your perfect fit that's built for a confident boost. And it's microphones, because it kind of goes to what I made.
It's based on the algorithm of things that you've shopped for or received from the TikTok shop.
And they've sent me 6 different messages in the past. Let's see, when did they first send it? Oh, I gotta scroll all the way up. June 16th was the first one they messaged me, and it showed me 4 products, all different microphones, and then a toothbrush. And then they sent me one, and it was 2 microphones, a camera, a light, and that's it. And then they sent me a light, 2 microphones, a camera, and it's just like hundreds of these a day. And then there's some that aren't correlated to what I do at all, like makeup or fucking lingerie, or what's this? Milk shave cream. That sounds gross.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the
and this is a huge opportunity. Our Instagram affiliates routinely make $10,000 per month in commission, where we are LGBTQ owned business and use a sustainable plus cruelty-free ingredients. You'll earn 20% commission on every day sale you make. We put ad dollar behind any successful video. Even that alone shows inconsistency. And
yeah, it's something that at one time an actual human typed out a message, and then
no,
an AI has just changed over time to be able to just shoot it out.
Yeah, it's crazy how that kind of shit works, and you really don't have to deal with it unless you're trying to make money. Or
no, that's not true. You have to deal with it anytime. I've got the so the reason I wanted to even do this episode is because a friend of mine, an acquaintance of yours, had his motorcycle stolen, and every comment underneath that said the same thing. Go to these guys on Instagram. They helped me find my bike. Oh, you should check out these guys on Instagram. They're great at finding stolen bikes. And I was just like these aren't real people, and that's obvious. But let's get into some of the ways that you can actually, that are indicators of bot generated content, right? They're repetitive patterns. Bot generated text often contains repetitive phrases or structures. This can include repeated use of certain words or awkward phrasing. Something that is a little almost uncanny valley, like, yeah, that's English, kinda.
Or like when you're talking to someone from my generation and they're like, bruh.
No, it's like
every other word.
It's like what's that, like skibbity toilet, and like all the, oh, you're not even up on the new lingo, bro. We should do a fucking video on generational language. That'd be pretty good.
Skibbity toilet?
It like means something. I've had it explained to me by YouTube videos like 6 times, and I still don't fucking understand it. It means like, it's like everything's in code now. It's like, oh, that girl's hot, and you say like fedora cupcake or some stupid shit. Like it doesn't make any sense to me. Unnatural flow. The text may lack the natural flow of human writing, appearing choppy or overly formal. Hello, sir. Hi, sir. We would like you to be a, like, just...
I have to interrupt just because lingo came back in my mind.
Oh.
You know what I'm terrified of?
What?
We have children, right?
Well, Yours is incubating, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, like we're about 16 years down the road whenever they are using said lingo.
Yeah, we're gonna be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Even nowadays, I don't know what half of the people my age say.
Yeah.
Like yeet? What the fuck does that mean?
It means to throw something.
Bussin'? What's that mean?
It means like it's really good.
Like why? Why? Just say that's really fucking good.
Yeah, but I feel like every generation has like specific slang that is associated with them. And then so like for us, my generation, which is not your generation, like gay was used as a derogatory term, and it didn't mean like, oh, that is homosexual. It meant like, oh, that's dumb. And like banging, like that's banging, like that meant something was really good. But I think that as the generations develop, they're trying to distance themselves so much from the generation beforehand that they have to come up with more outrageous, like over the top shit that doesn't make any sense to anyone else. That way, like kids can communicate in literal fucking code sometimes.
It's stupid. Banging and bussin'.
I mean,
Same
they're the
thing.
same thing.
Just say banging.
Yeah.
Or like dope.
Like
That's dope.
I love dope. Dope's a good word.
Dope's, and
It's
I
such
say
a
it
dope
every day.
word.
I say it every day.
I do too. Like, and that's like 80s lingo. Like that that made a comeback. High volume of content is another indicator that things are bot generated. Bots can produce a large amount of content in a short amount of time. If you notice an account or source publishing an unusually high volume of posts, it might be bot driven. So not us. We're obviously not bots because we don't do this shit often enough.
That's funny.
Lack of personal touch. Bot generated content often lacks personal anecdotes. Anecdotes. Emotions or unique perspectives that are typical in human writing. Inconsistent tone. The tone of the content might shift abruptly as bots may not maintain a consistent voice throughout, which makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah.
What were you about to say?
Like, I was going to try to expand on stuff, but it really doesn't need to be said because when I first heard about this theory, I was like, nah, come on. No, the posts that people make on Facebook, like that's people. That's people. It's not.
I'd also like to point out that it's way worse for women.
Oh, well, yeah.
So
send Bob's and Vagine.
When Liz and I got together, this was 4.5 years ago, five, long time ago. She, one of our first dates, she was like, "You want to see something fucking creepy?" And I was like, "Sure." Hundreds of messages from just random Indian guys.
Yeah, send pics of Bob's and Vagine.
Yeah, and there was the 1 out of 100 that weren't real.
That was
but that was more, "Hey, how are you? My name is whatever."
Right.
And trying to actually build some sort of relationship.
Right.
And sucking money out of you.
Right, because those are 9 times out of 10, those are just scams.
No, all of them are.
Not all of them. I've had, long before Autumn, I had, my heyday in the dating app scene, and like, there were people that I felt I made genuine connection with, but then I definitely had a bunch of people that were like, "Oh, my grandma's sick, and I just had to fly down to Bolivia to like be with her. Like, can you send me money?"
Well, hers weren't even on dating apps. They were on fucking Facebook.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. So it's like, it's terrifying to think about.
It is terrifying. It's funny because now we're getting into some Facebook stats.
Yeah.
Facebook, now the Meta Corporation, generates approximately 98% of its revenue from advertising. This makes advertising the company's primary source of income and significantly higher than most other media platforms because, it's Facebook. In 2023, Facebook's ad revenue reached, you ready for this number?
Yeah.
$131.948 billion.
From ads?
From ads.
Holy fuck.
131 billion with a B, dollars.
And let's keep in mind, for an ad to generate any sort of revenue, you have to watch said ad for at least...
No, that's not how it works on Facebook.
Yes, it is. You have to watch it for 4 seconds. You can't just scroll past it. You have to stop on it for 4 seconds.
I don't think that that's true on Facebook. And that was a 13.1% increase from 2022. And the third year in a row that the company's ad revenue surpassed $100 billion. Billion with a B. Mobile is responsible, like the mobile app, is responsible for 94% of Facebook's ad revenue. And it's estimated by Meta that 60 to 80% of their traffic is bots. Third-party investigators claim that it's even higher than that. Some going as high as 200%.
That's insane.
That there are twice as many bots than people actually watching these ads that Facebook is still getting paid for.
Yeah.
Even if a bot watches it, or a click farm in Belarus or in China or in Turkey, it doesn't matter.
Well, and with that in mind, they're just paying themselves. They're putting these bots on Facebook. Not all of them.
Sometimes.
But they're just paying themselves. They're
Right.
like, okay, well, we just need, same thing with us back in the day. Like, well, at least me, I was like 10, had my own YouTube channel. I'm like, okay, I have 15 phones. I want 15 views.
When the fuck did you have 15 phones?
Obviously, exaggerating, but like that kind of shit. Like, it's the same thing, but they're making legit money off of it.
Yeah.
Also, why it looks pink in here.
Oh yeah, we got purple lights on too. It's like all sorts, like it's a little girl's room, so, or nursery, not really a room. All right, so social media influencers can't be fake, right?
That's not true at all.
Yeah, so let's talk about some that are. Lil Miquela, one of the most famous virtual influencers. Lil Miquela is a 19-year-old AI-generated character created by the company Brood. She has collaborated with major brands like Chanel, Prada, and Samsung, and even appeared in campaigns with real celebrities. And so, like, this account had come out and gained notoriety. 2 years later, this account was hacked, and that's how the fan base found out that, oh, this is all AI. And guess what? She gained more followers after it came out that she wasn't a real person.
I believe it.
What the fuck? Like,
no, I believe it.
I sometimes this show makes me lose more faith in humanity than I already have, which is a lot. Our podcast, because like I have to investigate shit, and I'm like, that's really stupid. That's humanity in a nutshell.
Well, and what's even worse than that is like the amount of people that are real and putting their heart and soul into it. Because some people, like, social media, don't get me wrong, it's not the hardest thing in the world.
Right.
But you have to put a lot into it in order to get anything out of it.
You definitely do.
But I can guarantee that there's exactly what we're doing, maybe without the video, but just voice podcasts that are just AI.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure that there are, and I'm sure they get way more listens than we do. So
yeah, like, and that's the part that's crazy to me.
Well, but okay, so hold on, with something like that, that would be a company that creates it and feeds it information to then allow it to develop, because that's how this kind of stuff works, which means that that's backed by capital, which is something that we don't have.
Yep.
So if you're able to put more money into something, then that means even just putting adverts on other podcasts to, like, say, you know, go check these guys out because they're doing something really great. And then people from that podcast that's popular or not, they go and they give it a listen because somebody that they trust, i.e. the podcast that they listen to regularly, recommended it. So now it's like, it's an endless cycle, and it could literally like become so universalized in the... Have you watched Rick and Morty?
No.
Okay. Well, there's an episode where Rick creates a universe, and he's like, I'm your god. And then that universe creates a universe, and then that universe creates a universe, all to run simulations. And that's essentially what simulation theory is.
Yeah.
And like, if everything is AI generated, or even if it's just 80%, then like, who's to say that that's more or less real than the shit that's on that's being posted by actual flesh and blood human beings.
I would also like to point this out. Do you know who Charlie D'Amelio is?
No.
Okay. Well, that just helps my point even more.
That person is not on my list.
So, it's a TikToker who almost everyone knows. She has 11.7 billion likes.
God damn.
The world population is only 7.9 billion.
Yeah, but that's likes. So if
correct.
So if a third of the people on Earth click on her shit 10 times, then boom.
What?
I don't know. TikTok's huge.
TikTok is huge, but to dive into that, like there's not. I'd say maybe 60% of the population alone has TikTok.
Okay.
More than half the people in my life don't have it.
Yeah.
So like, that's crazy.
No, that's bananas. But if you're also posting, it looks like she posts like 9 times a day.
Yeah, I don't know.
So if people are just like, oh, I really like your stuff, and oh, there's a new one, and it's just...
Well, yes, but you can only like something once.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But if you're putting out that much content and you have a massive amount of followers, however many that is, even if it's 100 million, it's not that hard to get to 17 billion. That's
I don't know how many followers she has.
1,700 likes. And if you're putting out 300 pictures a day, that's not that hard to get to.
Yeah. So she has 155 million followers.
God damn.
And she was a 17-year-old dancer.
Mm.
Or 16-year-old dancer.
Great. Love that for her. All right. So we're going to keep going with not real influencers. Lou Do Magalu. Sorry. Lou Do Magalu. She's a Brazilian AI influencer. She's known for her product reviews, unboxing videos, and tech tips.
What's the name? I want to look.
This. Here, do you want to see the first one?
Yeah.
It's Lil Miquela.
Lil?
Miquela. Yeah.
Lil.
Miquela. There you go.
So this is AI?
That's AI.
I mean, yeah, that makes... Yeah, no, that is literal. Yeah, that's literal. Like, she looks fake.
I've never watched any of those.
She looks like an AI.
Yeah.
So that doesn't surprise me at all.
No, me neither. How do people think that was real?
Because people are stupid.
Okay, you want to do this one? It's Lou Do Magalu.
Lou?
L-U D-O space D-O space D-O M-A, yeah, that one. She has a significant following in Brazil and is managed by the retail company Magazine Luiza.
Also, like...
Yeah, obviously not real.
How do people
not know? I don't know. All right, here's the last AI one that I've got. Milla Sophia. You can look up her stuff while I talk about her a little bit. Milla. Described as a 19-year-old virtual girl from Helsinki, Finland, Milla Sophia has gained a large following on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Her posts often feature her in various picturesque locations, and she openly states that she is an AI creation. These AI influencers are designed to engage with followers and promote products just like human influencers, but they are entirely computer generated. It's fascinating to see how these blend into the social media landscape. Fascinating / terrifying.
So this one looks the most realistic, but still clearly
But it's
AI.
still, yeah, it looks like GTA 6 cover art.
Yeah. Well, and it's honestly so fucked up that they allow this kind of shit because it is someone who is... People don't look like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but like that kind of shit ruins other people's self-esteem.
It does, yeah, because they're holding themselves to the standards of literal impossibility.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I want to talk about Hatsune Miku. Do you know who Hatsune Miku is?
No.
She's the long pigtailed, blue-haired. She's was on like Fortnite for a couple seasons or whatever. She is AI generated. She's a musician, but it's like they project her at like concerts and shit. She's got a massive following in Japan and with a bunch of weebs, but like it's it's like off the bat, like, you know, she's obviously not real, and they have different people sing
Okay.
as Hatsune Miku. So let's talk about gorillas,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Well, we know who's behind gorillas, and they were kind of the first to be like a virtual or like a digital artist group, and I don't put that into the same category as like the AI influencers personally.
No, because one of the people is like Gorillaz is made by a real person.
Yes, it's actual music made by.
But the group is AI.
Yeah, well, they're not AI. They're drawn. They're cartoon characters.
Yeah.
But that doesn't change the fact that, like, you know, 2D, his like singing parts are done by Damon Albarn, who is the driving force behind everything. And then the animator, who was his roommate, was the guy that wrote the Tank Girl comics.
Yeah. Well, also something that me and Liz talked about a couple months ago is he said the N-word in one of his videos.
2D did? Or Damon did?
Someone in a Gorillaz song there.
Yeah, there's lots of that because they have like guest artists all the time.
Yeah. And at first I was like, did he just do that because he's like, Gorillaz isn't a real person? Like,
no, I'm sure it was like De La Soul or something.
It was a African American artist, but at first I was like, did they just do that because they're like, well, I'm not real?
You're too conditioned, man.
Why?
To even like be like, oh, you can't. Oh wait, no, it's okay actually.
No, I didn't care. I was just like, how
ballsy does one man have to be?
Yeah.
Be like, you can't commit me. 2D said it. It wasn't Damon. It was 2D.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I was very. I personally didn't care. I'm also white, so it's different.
Right. Of course.
But most people would get canceled for that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So I was like,
I don't think you can cancel gorillas.
So I wanted to dive into it because I was like, that's interesting.
So you fell down a badger hole?
Yes.
Yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. Are you familiar with the loneliness epidemic?
No.
It's exactly what it sounds like. It refers to the widespread and increasing feelings of loneliness and social isolation experienced by many people, particularly in the United States and other parts of the world. It's a massive issue in Japan.
Okay.
Massive issue. This trend has been growing since the 2010s and was significantly exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic. Duh. So the way that being just feeling super lonely, or, you know, hella lonely, which is another song, can impact you. Health impacts. Loneliness has severe implications for both mental and physical health and increases the risk of heart disease, dementia, stroke, and premature death. It also contributes to mental health issues like depression and anxiety.
And I believe that
Yeah.
wholeheartedly. I mean, shit, even whenever I was like a teenager, there was days where like it's the middle of summer, you want to be outside, but all your friends are busy. And you're just like, there was countless days where I would just sit there and fucking cry and be so mad because I was bored.
Interesting.
Like, and I assume that happens to everyone, but like, loneliness is a real thing.
I don't think I've ever cried out of boredom.
I have for sure.
No, 100%. I just find something to do.
Yeah, no, not me. I've cried out of boredom.
Interesting.
Like, I'd sit down to play a game and then I'd be like, fuck, I don't want to do this. None of my friends are on.
I've definitely done that.
Cried because
I don't cry.
Oh, but you've been
I've never cried because of it. Like, I don't really feel like playing anything because like I want the social interaction and online, just like you said.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, all right, well, I'll go do something else.
Yeah, definitely. Whenever I was younger, I would just like, I skated, I played video games, and whenever there was no one to do any of that kind of shit with, I'd be like, fucking just lay in my bed. I'd scroll on my phone for a minute, and then I'd be like, no, this sucks ass. And I'd get so mad that I'd cry.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Demographics. While loneliness can affect anyone, certain groups are more vulnerable. Young adults aged 18 to 25. Older adults, like, you know, people that their partner has passed on and that kind of shit. People with poor physical or mental health, those living alone, and individuals facing financial insecurity report higher levels of loneliness. And that makes sense. Yes.
That's me.
Oh.
I'm poor.
Oh, yeah, me too. Poor as fuck. Types of loneliness. There's psychological loneliness, which is a feeling that you have no one to confide in or trust, which is
what most people.
Yeah, it's like when I struggled with depression, I was right in the same age group, 18, 19. And like, even though like I had, my family around and stuff, I always just felt alone and I didn't like myself. And, it's a shitty feeling.
But at that time, you were living in a garage by yourself. So that makes sense.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Social loneliness, feeling excluded from society due to characteristics like gender, race, or disability, or just being ugly. I'm just kidding. That's not really on the list, but that
is a thing.
It totally is a thing. And like, if you're bullied and stuff, and then nobody wants to hang out with you, yeah, you're gonna feel like shit. Don't bully people.
Just be human.
Yeah, just like be okay to each other.
Be not a shitty person.
Yeah,
it's not hard.
In the words of Bill and Ted, be excellent.
And that's coming from two people who I don't think I'm very judgy. I know that you are judgy.
I'm sometimes, yeah.
But like, it's not hard to not suck.
Yeah, it's really not.
Correction. When you're driving and I say derogatory things to you, it's not because you're a shitty person. You just need to be better at driving.
Facts. If you don't use your turn signal, I hate you. That's just how it is. I'm going to yell at stuff and all sorts of things. And
fucking today, dude. Me and Liz went to go pick up food.
Uh-huh.
It was like 11:30 in the morning. I saw this motherfucker cut in front of me, right?
Uh-huh, yeah.
Coming out of a bar at 11:30, swerving.
Yeah.
I lost it.
You know what? Where were you?
Coming down South Greeley at the Outlaw. He pulled out at the
same thing happened to us at Converse a couple days ago. Yeah, this dude just full on right in front of us and then was doing this. Yep. And I was like,
funny thing too.
Stupid bitch.
There was a cop sitting in the parking lot.
And didn't do shit.
No.
Of course.
But
meanwhile, I'm over here trying to clean ice off the inside of my cracked ass windshield one night because it was like minus 14 degrees outside, and I got pulled over by the cop. Hey, you're swerving. Have you been drinking tonight? No. Can you not see my fucking windshield is ice, bruh?
Shit, you not? 5 minutes before that whole thing happened, though, me and Liz saw someone pulled over for their fucking tags. I already paid for the fucking plate on my fucking car and the taxes on my fucking car. Fuck you. It's a sticker.
Taxation is theft anyway. All right.
That's not to all police officers. I thank you for what you do, but like, bro, it's a sticker. I know it's your job, but like, it's a sticker.
Yeah.
There's like $150 fucking sticker. Might as well be made out of gold.
Yeah, to protect and serve is what every police agency in the country's motto is. And it really feels more like ad revenue for the city, county, or state is really what it feels more like to everyone that you interact with. So
I don't know a single person that hasn't been pulled over for their tags.
I've never been pulled over for my tags.
Have they ever been late?
No, I'm pretty good about that, actually.
Okay, yeah.
I'm a law-abiding citizen. I don't like it, but I do it because I don't want to go to fucking prison.
Like, the tags on my truck are expired,
yeah.
But I'm poor, so, like, chill. My place of living is more important than my vehicle.
True.
But, like, dude, I've been pulled over whenever I first got the insight. I was going very fast.
Well, duh.
It's a quick car. I was going 98. Yeah, it was almost a felony. Yeah, I know. I got pulled over, and it was a highway patrolman, and he could have taken me to jail. And most highway patrolmen are not nice people.
That's not true, actually. My interaction with Hypo has been that they're actually really chill. And unless you
Mine's been 50-50.
Come at them with attitude, then they're gonna, like, I got pulled over. I was doing the same 98 and a 75, though. So, like,
mine was in 65.
Oh, yeah. Well, wow. But no, I mean, he bumped it, the speed that he clocked me at down and stuff. And, it went from being like a $2,000 ticket to a $300 ticket. And he was like, just slow it down. I was like, there's hail and like a tornado behind me. I'm just trying to, like, I'm driving from Colorado to North Carolina. So, like, I'm trying to get the fuck out of here.
No, whenever he stopped me, he was like, why? And I was like, I apologize.
I gotta poop.
No, I was late to work.
Oh, well,
I wasn't late. I wouldn't have been late.
Was this in
when I got my ticket? No, it was here when I got my ticket. $500 ticket, which is kind of fair. Better than jail.
Yeah.
Which I could have been in.
And points on your license and reckless endangerment, the whole thing.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry about that. Let's talk about existential loneliness, which is feeling disconnected from oneself or lacking a sense of purpose. I feel like a lot of people are undergoing that right now,
Yeah.
and
Me.
yeah, I get it. The world is a shit place. Right now it feels shittier than it has in a very long time, and like things seem to get worse every day.
For crying out loud. Trump was almost killed.
Yeah, but even more recently than that, like the stock market looked like it was crashed. Like it was in the process of crashing.
No, it did. Facebook's crashed.
No,
Everything
has bounced back pretty well.
No.
But like, there was $2 billion lost in like an 8-hour period. And I know it goes into the actually, ironically, Japanese markets and people borrowing yen and then converting it to dollars because they could invest more and then defaulting on those.
Do you know how much money Facebook lost in 4 hours?
I don't know, a bunch.
Like $180 million.
That's nothing compared to what like Nvidia lost
in 2 hours.
Yeah, whatever. It'd be like that sometimes. Play stupid games and win stupid prizes. Technology's role in all of this. While technology can connect people, it can also contribute to feelings of isolation when it replaces face-to-face interaction, which I feel like, or especially during COVID, that was the only way that a lot of people had any sort of interaction was online.
Yeah. Also, stock markets. Sorry, I'm so sorry. My brain. You know how many people are rich now because of that though? Because of it crashing?
Are rich?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody that not Boeing, what was the other defense contractor? Oh, Lockheed Martin. Everybody that owned Lockheed Martin stocks became like an overnight millionaire.
Well, and when Facebook dumped, fucking someone put like $500,000 into it.
Yeah.
And they are now multimillionaires.
Bro, I bought more Dogecoin.
Yeah.
When it crashed, I was like, fuck it. So I bought it at the lowest point it's been in the last like year.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's back up a lot. So,
yeah.
But
smart. But I'm poor.
But I play with like cents instead of hundreds of thousands of dollars like
some
people.
Well, he was like, "This is my time. It's got to come back. It's Facebook. It's got to go back up."
I don't know. Well, too big to fail is what they said about like USAA and you know Fannie Mae, and the only reason that those companies are still extant are because they were bailed out with taxpayer money, and then that same year they cut multi-million-dollar bonuses to their fucking CEOs and shit, and those people should be put in prison.
Yeah,
forever. You took taxpayer money and you gave bonuses with it. Fuck you in the face. But they don't care because they're too big to fail. Sorry, I'm salty about that shit. That happened like 08, so I mean, I was 16. 7. I really wasn't paying much attention to shit, but yeah, you were only 7. Public health response. Recognizing the severity of the issue, public health leaders, including the U.S. Surgeon General, have called for a national strategy to enhance social connections and address this crisis. Understanding and addressing loneliness is crucial for improving overall well-being and health. In Japan, they have entire like apartment complexes where like your apartment is the size of this room, which is like 12 by 8, 14 by 8,
it's
maybe
14 by 6.
Okay, yeah, and like that's where a lot of like single Japanese men just like live, and they go to work and they work 10 hours a day and they come home and they're fucking miserable. That's why like waifu pillows are a thing.
Yeah,
literally that's why they were invented, was to give some sense of like connecting to another person, even though it's an anime character. But the birth rates in Japan over the last 10 years, last decade, have dropped like substantially, and I really wish I would have looked for the numbers on that, but I didn't.
No, yeah, I mean, and that shit is for everyone. I mean, working fucking like Richmond, north of Richmond.
Oh yeah.
How many people related to that? Just because they feel like they're wasting away fucking working their ass off for what?
Right.
A roof over my head?
Yeah.
That's all you're getting.
When there are people like there are copious amounts of CEOs in this country alone that literally do fuck all.
Elon Musk. You know how much money he makes a minute?
A lot, I'm sure.
Take a guess.
I don't care to take a guess.
Over what we make in a year, this man makes in a minute.
That's not hard. I don't make any money in a year.
Okay. over what I made in a year.
That's not hard. You don't make very much money in a year.
I was making $70K a year.
Yeah, well, it'd be like that sometimes.
He makes that in a fucking minute, dude.
I mean, yeah, that's what happens when you just have mommy and daddy's diamond mine money to throw around, and then you sell PayPal, and all of a sudden, wow, the sky's the limit. They say you've got to have money to make money, and that's true, 100% true.
Even you in that game that you're playing,
yeah,
you have to put a little bit into it to get a little bit more.
Yeah, that's true. But like, it's hard when the accumulation of wealth. 1% of people in this country own 98% of the money.
Yeah.
How's that fucking balance out?
It doesn't.
I'm not saying we need a redistribution of wealth. That's not at all what I'm getting at here. I don't think that communism works. Socialism doesn't work. But like every year it seems to get harder for people that are trying to make ends meet do that with things like hyperinflation and
jobs don't account for that shit.
No.
Nothing accounts for it.
No.
You go from being comfortable and having money to, oh shit, how am I going to afford to live?
Right. And as you make more money, you also there's always a larger payment that goes with that. If you're a lawyer in upstate New York, you probably have a big ass house. Well, what happens when you're no longer a lawyer? You still have to figure out how to pay for that big ass house. And that's like more money, more problems, like Biggie said. But like that's real shit.
Or me. I went from making good money and I have a $900 truck payment.
Mm-hmm.
And that wasn't a thing whenever I was making good money. But now it's fucking me.
Yeah, it's fucking you hard.
It's upsetting.
I did not mean for this to be a depressing episode. I really, really, truly didn't. I don't know how I'm scooting all the way out of the frame and stuff. All right. So let's talk about some tools to detect. I am so sorry. God.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know. It was like a burp, but it hurt. Tools to detect bot-generated content. AI detectors. Tools like Scribbler's AI detector and Quillbot's AI content detector can analyze text for patterns typical of AI-generated content. Which is what the next one is. Plagiarism checkers. While primarily used to detect copied content, some plagiarism checkers can also identify text that appears to be generated by bots. But that's not always 100% accurate. I had a pretty close friend that was going through a college course and was called in to meet with the dean of their program, and they were like, your instructor or your professor ran a plagiarism checker on your paper that you just submitted, and it says it's 100% AI generated. And he was like, I spent a month and a half writing that. So like, but that like, you can debate it.
Yeah.
But in his case, luckily he was able to, but sometimes you can't. They're just like, nope, this program says it's AI, so howdy, bub.
Also, my brain's doing the thing again.
Yeah, it does that.
I was just thinking about money again. And I had an interview last week.
Yeah.
Something the guy said to me that fucking is so true.
Yeah.
He was like, when you have a great job in the aspect of money, 9 times out of 10, you A, aren't home with your family. B, you don't have time to spend said money. So I can't remember exactly what he said, but he was like, you either have money and have no life, or you have a perfect life and are poor. He was like, I've been doing this for 60 years and I haven't found a way to balance it.
Yeah. A work-life balance is a very important thing. But like, I mean, that's the lie of the American dream, right? Oh, if you work hard, you'll get everything you ever wanted.
That's not true.
I've got everything I ever wanted right now, and I don't have a job.
Yeah.
Like I'm a stay-at-home dad, and I've never been happier in my entire life. And I think that's like, people chase the grind so hard. Oh, I've got to get to this milestone because, that means that I'm successful. But like, really what it boils down to is like, money doesn't make you happy. Yeah, money can buy things that make you happy for sure. They can relieve the stress of not having money, but at the end of the day, like, you've got to be able to live your life.
For me, like, success right now is being able to provide for myself,
For sure,
my wife,
yeah.
and my unborn daughter,
Right.
and have a comfortable house
I feel that.
with some land.
And I think that that's so many people's like happy point, but it's so hard to get to that if you don't have like,
if your dad didn't own a company and hand it to you,
I mean, that definitely helps.
or if you have zero bills and you take that leap of faith into some sort of e-commerce or sales or something like that,
Something
but
that
you
may
can't
or may
do,
not work.
you can't do as an adult. Those things you can only jump into whenever you are fresh out of high school and you are only paying for your fucking phone. That's the only time that you can really, really, really go balls to the walls and take that leap.
I mean, that's true because
You don't have any.
you've got no
You don't
bills.
need the money.
Right. You've got no place most of the time. Of course,
Yeah.
generalization here, but most of the time, yeah, you're right. But at the same time, you've got to have enough either squirreled away or you've got to have a good enough job. And I don't know about you, but like 18, 19, I wasn't making shit. You were doing okay. You were working at the mine at 19.
I was not 19.
You were 20.
Yeah, I'm 23 now.
Oh, whatever.
So I was 21. But even at 18 or 19, I wasn't making shit. Right. I was selling cars.
Well, even before that, you were a professional Fortnite player.
Yeah, and I was making more money then in comparison because I didn't have bills.
Right.
In comparison, I was balling. Or like
balling on a budget.
Like I was making like $600-700 a month, but all of that was for me. I didn't have a car payment. I had insurance. That was it. Right. That was the only thing I paid for at that point. So $100 a month, not even for my insurance because it was we called it the Bing Mobile. It was amazing. I wish I had a picture. I'd put it on the screen because it was amazing.
I have a picture. I'm not going to send it to you.
But it's amazing.
It's on my Instagram.
But like
Rock.
But like now you fucking I went, just for comparison, I went from making or being able to live in a $1,600 apartment. I have a brand new truck. My wife has a brand new car. And still afford groceries.
Yeah, which is more than a lot of people could say right now.
Yeah. To now, I am living with my parents, which is great.
It's awesome.
It's honestly, do it. It's great. And you save money.
If you have the opportunity to shack back up with your parents.
But even now, even not paying $1,600 in rent, how am I going to afford my trucks, my car, my
insurance for both vehicles?
Yeah, my phones.
Personal insurance.
Personal loans that I've had to get because I was not intelligent with my money whenever I was very young. For fuck's sake, I was 16 years old and the buckle gave me a fucking credit card.
I remember getting that canceled for you because you were 16 and they gave you a credit card.
Like,
and I called and was like, he's 16. He can't have a credit card. What are you doing? And they were like, no, okay, we'll cancel that line of credit. Yeah, you fucking will.
So I got a free pair of Oakleys, which was pretty dope.
Yeah.
I mean, they're ruined because I worked in them. But like it really matters in the aspect of what I did. And I feel like what most people do. They're like, oh, I have more money. I can buy more things.
See, whereas I was very much the opposite in my
youth. I mean, from now on, that's how I'm going to be. I have more money. Oh, I get to put more in savings. I get to save up for a house.
You learned your lesson then?
Yeah, years ago, dude.
You say that.
No.
When did you procure your truck? A year ago.
Correct, but that's not even how bad I was versus I did need a new vehicle.
Yeah, but you didn't need that expensive of a vehicle.
No, but even at that, it would have been the same price. Like that truck was only $35,000, but I had rollover from my previous truck that fucking barely ran. Like that kind of shit bones everyone, whether they want to admit it or not. Like you almost get boned doing the exact same thing. Well, it wouldn't have boned you. It was the same payment that you had, but now you have a free truck.
It's not free.
You still have to pay taxes and tags.
It's been paid off. But yeah, why do I still have to pay taxes on my truck?
Yeah.
When I paid it off.
Yeah.
Plus a lot of extra because interest.
Yeah. It's stupid. But moral of what I'm saying is, so many people struggle with what to do with their money whenever they're very young because they don't have anything that they need to put it
Well,
towards.
they have no point of reference for how to spend it a lot of time, because one thing I've noticed being a new parent is that a lot of parents don't emphasize the importance of like saving
Money.
money, or just how to intelligently spend your money, which as a society we need to be better at. You don't need to teach your kids that they get a toy every time they go to the store, because that's that no, 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 no.
And this might be pushing it, but I would assume that a lot of people can relate to this. So many people go from great jobs, making a bunch of money, and their lifestyle adjusts to that.
Of course, because that's how
That's
it works.
their normal.
Yeah.
And then once that isn't a thing, which with the amount of illegals that take all the carpentry jobs and shit like that,
Well,
the amount of illegals from 2020 to 2024 has skyrocketed.
we don't have a border anymore.
Correct.
To the south of us.
And I'm not racist or anything, like, don't get me wrong, but a lot of jobs, landscaping jobs this year,
yeah,
I can't get them.
Working primarily as a landscaper.
Yeah.
That is hard when people that will do it for a lot less are being shoveled into the country.
And I'm not saying all of them are illegal,
No,
but
of
like
course.
it does contribute. But I went from making at the coal mine $90K a year,
Right.
and adjusted to that lifestyle.
Right. Almost bought a house.
Oh, yeah.
Whole bunch of shit. Yeah.
And then I had to readjust to being poor, and then readjust to making more money,
Right.
and then readjust to being poor.
But also, the lesson that I really think that you need to have learned from all of that is live like you're poor.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Like
100%.
Like that's the moral of the story.
If I can buy my groceries every month, I'm happy.
If you are comfortable, like if you're not stressing how am I going to pay this bill, you're doing better than the vast majority of people out there right now.
Which I haven't been that for 5 months, 6 months, 7 months. If my wife didn't get in a car accident, I would have been living on the streets.
No, you wouldn't, because you would.
I wouldn't have, but I would have been bad.
Okay, well, we're almost done with the notes. So,
Okay.
And this podcast is not about money.
No.
But at the end of the day, what we're discussing does play a big role in the global economy.
Yeah.
I mean, Facebook is like 60 to 80% is bots. That's
Crazy.
Still a fuckload. Are you kidding me?
And they have the marketplace, which
Oh my God. You post something for sale and it's like, is this available?
Let's meet up.
Right. And then they're not real people.
Yeah.
They just nothing ever happens. It's so weird.
Or you find houses and shit. And it's
Right.
like, bro, there's a palm tree. I live in Wyoming.
Right.
That ain't here, bitch.
Exactly. Yeah. Just the internet scams have run. Fuck, when we were living in Colorado Springs, I was talking to, and it wasn't a bot, but it was someone that needed a live-in au pair, which is like a nanny. And I have quite the extensive experience in like childcare and stuff. So I was like, hey, this is great. You know, what's it pay? And she found me on like Indeed and just reached out and we started talking. And then all of a sudden I'm in Yemen and I'm trying to get my kid cancer treatment and this, that, and the other. And it was as a civil war was happening in Yemen. And I'm like, okay, wait, what's your kid's name? No response. Hey, this is weird. I don't know if I can.
Well, if it was a real person, she probably got hacked, because the amount of people that get hacked every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Facebook, like, why do you need? Why do you need it?
Yeah, why are you stealing Grandma Betty's fucking? All she does is play like Candy Crush Saga, and like have 11 friends and type things into her status updates that she thinks she's typing to Google. Like, why are you hacking these people? Look, I got one back in not the early days of the internet, but it was
like when Instagram was still the TV logo.
Instagram wasn't a thing when I'm telling this story.
Okay.
It was like 2006, maybe 2007.
Okay.
And I got an email from my step grandmother saying, hey, I'm stuck in Oklahoma. Can you wire me some money? I was like,
no.
what the fuck? That's crazy. That's insane. So I called her husband and was like, "Hey, is Martha okay?" "Yeah, she's sitting right here. You want to talk to her?" "Yeah." Talk to her. I'm like, "Hey, did you just email me about being in Oklahoma?" She's like, "I'm in Fort Worth." I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, dude.
This was before like internet scams were a massive like known thing.
Well, and the sad thing,
dog hair in my mouth.
Same. Well, mine weird hair.
Hmm.
The sad thing is too is it's not as bad in say like the UK as it is here
For scams?
for AI and what's the word
I
I'm
would be
looking for?
willing to like bot generated content.
Yeah,
I would be willing to bet you're wrong.
I'm statistically I'm not. Like if you Google it,
What?
yeah, no, straight up like the highest
The
bot
the
generated in
EU
AI.
does have a lot more like rules against that kind of thing to where they will actually prosecute in some cases.
Plus, people aren't as gullible.
You're so wrong.
I'm not.
The
Man.
whole country allowed themselves to be disarmed.
Well, yes. I'm saying if someone messages
The whole multitude of countries.
I personally know someone.
Hey,
well.
hold on, wait. Just I got a question for you.
Okay.
What do you know what the highest criminal activity right now in the UK is?
Stabbing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they had a gun problem. So what'd they do? Let's take all the guns. Let's just take all the fucking guns. So now they got a knife problem. And they've already taken all the knives. So how's that fucking fixing anything? Doesn't make any sense to me. You know a person, you were saying?
Personally, I know someone who has sent upwards of $10,000 to strangers on the internet. Yeah. Off of TikTok.
There was an old woman in Thermopolis who was just so sweet. And she was on an older person dating site. And when I worked at a bar and she was like a regular and she always just drank tea. She was a sweet old lady. And she was like, "Oh, I found a man." And I was like, "Oh yeah? How do you know?" She's like, "Oh, I met him on this dating site." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And she showed me all these messages and I was like, "It's not real."
And it's like a 30-year-old dude with abs.
No, like it was like the picture was like age appropriate, but I was like, "Nola, this isn't real." Like she's like, "No, he said he's gonna like take care of me." And I was like, "Oh, poor woman." And that's like there's so much
Of that.
of that, and it breaks my fucking heart. Because at least like our kids are gonna grow up knowing like don't trust anyone on the online.
Ever.
Period. Just don't. Unless you've met them in person, don't trust them. And even at that, sometimes still don't trust them because your shit can get hacked. But like the older generations, they don't have like they weren't brought up with the internet. So that's like a completely new novel thing to them.
Yeah.
So why would anyone use it maliciously? And it's fucking sad. And I don't know what happened to her. And I hope that wasn't a scam and that she found some Prince Charming that's taking care of her and she's just living in a mansion now. I really hope that, but I don't think that's the case. Okay, we're almost done with the notes. Traffic analysis is another way to detect bots.
Yep.
Monitoring website traffic can help identify bot activity. Unusual spikes in traffic or patterns that don't match typical user behavior can be an indicator. I used to be a roommate with a guy that ran an airsoft like forum site, and somebody was essentially DDoSing them one day, and he just sent a bunch of like bots to post on their shit and basically bricked their computer. I'm like, that's genius. He was a hyper nerd though. Manual review. Sometimes a careful manual review by a human can spot inconsistencies or unnatural elements that automated tools might miss. But with that being said, if it's AI, it's a learning algorithm.
Yeah.
It means they're just going to get better at evading that, which means that, again, unless you know the person you're interacting with on Instagram,
Don't.
odds are pretty good they're not a real person.
Mm-hmm.
And that's insane to me. Okay, so what does this mean for us? I think in the next 30 years, because we've had what, the late mid 80s were really the heyday when like the internet started. It was around in the 70s, but very few people could access it.
I wouldn't say that like social media took off until like 2005.
Well, but what I'm saying is, so 40 years ago is when like the internet started
Was even a thing
to get big, right? So within the next 40 years, I would say that probably 98% of all traffic on the internet will be bots trying to sell other bots stupid, useless fucking bullshit.
I don't even think that.
You don't even think that?
No, I think again, social media hasn't even been a big thing. Let's be real. A big thing.
I mean, what are you considering social media? Because like AOL Instant Messenger, shout out AIM, was like,
I'm not talking about like Skype or like, I'm talking like Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, the things that generate.
Before all of that, there was MySpace, there was Friendster.
But there wasn't a whole lot of bots on MySpace.
No.
There wasn't a whole lot of bots on any of this except for Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook.
Uh-huh.
And obviously nowadays it's on more so.
Right. But anywhere that gets any sort of
but it didn't really generate until those 4 or 5 things. And that hasn't. Instagram started in I think 2007, 2008. Snapchat started in 2013. And Facebook has been a thing for a while, probably since 2000.
Time. Yeah, probably about that.
But also didn't have bots until Meta became a thing.
There
was bots. But
I think that it's.
I give it 10 years until either A, we just don't have any more social media,
which I'd be fine with,
or it's all bots. Because seriously, I can scroll through Facebook right now and I'll see 20 posts. Out of those posts, one thing will be from someone that I actually know.
Right, that's legit.
And yeah. So like, I give it 10 years until social media is just
kaput.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that was going to be part of my out of the badger hole question. Okay, I got another. How about the badger hole on this? Do you think it is okay for Facebook to acknowledge that 60% of its revenue, 60 to 80% of its revenue is illegally obtained because they know that it's bots that are watching these ads? It's some dude.
Are you saying okay and not do anything about it?
Yeah, because there's no way to, like, do you know how like a click farm works?
Yes.
It's a dude in like Malaysia with 800 iPhones on a wall, and they're all doing the same thing. They're all just sitting there.
I can't say that it's necessarily a good thing.
I mean, I don't think they should be able to make money.
Correct.
Off of that. I think that is just corrupt.
But another perfect example is Twitch. You know how many people are botted? Me.
Yeah. When you were big into streaming, it was.
I had 4,000 followers, and I was streaming consistently, and I was doing good. And then I stopped for like 2 months, which that brought down my views. But I started streaming again, and one of my first streams back, I gained 3,000 followers, and it's all fake. And whenever you're looking at algorithms and shit, it knows what's fake and what's not.
Analytics, not algorithms.
Yeah. But like, well, even it plays into the algorithm because it's not gonna bump someone who has half of their viewership being AI generated bots. It's gonna put the people that have lower views with real people. Even now, if I look on who's watching my stream, 8 out of the 10 people are going to be AI. And it's saddening.
Yeah.
Because they ruin people's lives over that shit.
I mean, yeah, totally. Unless you're the top 1% of streamers, an attack like that can royally screw you up.
And I have 2-step verification. I have all of the proper...
Right, to verify that you're a person?
Yeah.
I
have all of the proper safety. What's the word I'm looking for?
Mechanisms, defenses.
Yeah, sure.
Like, I don't know. But yeah, so that was the Dead Internet
Precautions.
Theory. That's the Dead Internet Theory. Let us know what you think in the comments below, or I think Spotify now has like a way to review the episode, which is kind of dope. So please leave us some Spotify and Apple podcast reviews if you like us or not. You can always send an email to badgerholepodcast@gmail.com. He hates it, but I gotta plug it. If you're feeling lonely and you need to talk to somebody, like,
we're real.
We are legit people.
And it seriously is a big thing. And most people are gonna like, oh, whatever. They're just seriously, like, the amount of time people don't have anyone to talk to is crazy.
Yeah.
And it's sad.
It is. It's very sad.
And it's not just saying, if you reach out to us, we're gonna respond because it's sad that you're alone. But human interaction is all someone needs.
Yeah, and like that's important. And it's just like we said in the Trump episode, like mental health is a huge thing, and like as a global society, we have finally come to the point where we acknowledge, like, hey, this shit can really fuck you up. So like, reach out. I've always got my phone on me. Chandler doesn't know how to respond to a text if it would save his life, but I'm always on my phone when I'm not playing with my kid. I still have my phone on me. Yeah. So shoot us an email. We'll respond. And throw some ideas for some episodes you guys want to see in the comments down below. This one kind of got away from us. We got way into money. That was never the intention, but you know, that's what happens when it's a free flow podcast. Sometimes it just pops up. But yeah, that's it. We have been Down the Badger Hole, and we're out.